Canada, the 51st state, the only solution. Absolute evidence in the link of this title. Folks, I just slept a solid 8 hours. Most sleep I've had in weeks, really. And it was terrific. I finished my news presentation, major. It'll be coming out later in the next couple weeks. But, folks, everyone, whoa, Donald Trump, whoa, Canadians. And you know what? I've rested myself extremely well. I'm up this morning early, feeling great. And I want to give this to you straight in the link of this title. It was removed from Facebook, a trip to Texas a couple of years ago where I met a very good friend of mine, Hector Lopez Beaufil. This is important for all Canadians in all your provinces. I presented the legal path to independence. I did that in 2019, ran a majority. Bad actors, regurgitated bad actors come forward thinking they're special, that it doesn't matter how much money they get, which isn't enough. It's a joke, really, the amount of money. I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's a joke, even in campaigning, in the eyes of the United States of America. That's only Alberta, which does have a group of concerned Albertans that want to push independence. They're telling you they're going to do a referendum according to Danielle Smith's unconstitutional laws. They tell you they're going to do a declaration of independence and feed me money. It's all going to work out. Don't worry. We are the masters and commanders of our destiny or future, they tell all of you. Well, I'm sorry to say, I am the expert in the room. I am the master of independence globally. Whether people want to believe that, you're going to find out in a couple of weeks. You're going to find out the truth. Donald J. Trump shot down Catalan, whom had absolutely, just like Alberta in Canada, there's Catalan in Spain. And unlike anything I've ever seen in Canada, the Catalonians developed a Declaration of Independence. They ran the equivalent of MPs because it's a unitary state, Spain. But that region, they ran MPs. They were voted in the 90th percentile, opposite of Alberta. And Alberta probably having the most drive towards independence, other than Quebec, who's had an even larger share. But folks, it's about truth in this world. Catalan, my interview's in the link of this title. God bless Ian Bachman, good friend of mine, who's recorded all my stuff. He saved it. That video is destroyed on my Facebook. Ian holds the only original video. Absolute. You can't deny that video. That video is real. That happened. That is Hector Lopez Beaufil, the man, the doctorate of law, who wrote the Declaration of Independence for the would-be president of Catalan in Spain. They won a 90 percentile of the people voting forward all those MPs, who won mass majority of the seats, 96th percentile, sweeping majority. They declared independence and attempted to move their parliament out of Spain, introducing the independent country of Catalan. They were vetoed by the United States of America under Donald J. Trump. You want to read the statement? You have to look that up, because I am shot down on Facebook every time I try to present the links. They're there for you, Canadians, because your government doesn't want you. Danielle Smith and Mark Carney don't want you to know the truth, because they want to keep feeding you lies, because they don't want you to get angry and do something detrimental like a revolution. That's what they're really scared of. So they feed you the lies over and over. They erase people like myself who exist, who have all of the international laws, all of the precedent, what happened to countries who had sweeping majorities way above you. This was 2017. Way above all of you. People are messaging me about Mark Carney and Donald Trump. In the link of this title is the White House press release on Donald J. Trump's social media that he just releases a few hours ago. I wake up this morning and go on there. Guess what I find? The whole presentation in writing of what they're going to do to Canada, what they're going to do to Ontario. Goodbye, all automotive manufacturing. Goodbye, all Canadian auto parts. Goodbye, all of it. 560,000 employees under the national security of the United States. They even quote USMCA there. More, they go on to tell you reciprocity tariffs and what's coming for even the province of Alberta. I told you this entire country is finished. Oh, sure, Donald J. Trump wants you to vote for Mark Carney. Absolutely. It's the quickest path, cleanest path to Canada's complete bankruptcy and statehood. Fastest path. Most resistant the government, the more faster Canada will become the 51st state. Donald J. Trump is no liar. He told all of you. We are much better off with Mark Carney because Mark Carney is going to have Canada handed over on a silver platter in statehood. And before everybody freaks out for us in 51st state, it is absolutely the best solution because Canada as a whole, dissolving all the provinces, entertaining the American district system, challenging the Supreme Court, changing all 50 states into universal health care is a solution. Folks, the evidence is undeniable. I can't publish all of it because Facebook won't even let me do it. I put the screenshot in the evidence pile to show you that I can talk about some of these things. I can post my video with Hector Lopez Beaufil, but I can't post a single news story. I can't. And we know this in Canada. You have to be big boys and girls and go dig that out yourself. You have to learn what Donald J. Trump has always done, who he is. He is America first. If you're not an American State of the Union, you're sweet fuck. Oh, no, I have to say this way because I have to make it impactful, honest, and truthful. I love all Canadians, all First Peoples. I would not do anything to hurt anybody. Everything I do is Canada's best foot forward, the best we can be, because I promise you, all evidence published clear evidence by Donald J. Trump and the GOP, the Trump administration, and all evidence points to our destruction. It's join as Canada the 51st state, offered now 42 times by Donald J. Trump. Offered 42 times. Never ever compromising, saying, listen, everybody, you'll be our cherished 51st state. It is the best solution for everybody involved here. It's the common sense solution. Conservatives say they're about common sense. There's nothing common sense about that. Liberals are fanatical anyway, but Donald J. Trump knows that, and he can predict a liberal a mile away. They're not a wild card. They are going to fight him tooth and nail. We're going to be the independent Canada. We're going to borrow so much money. We're going to build so much infrastructure. Blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, where's your trading partners? USA already knows they're non-existent. You need them for all your value and supply chains. You're trying to move away from your number one trading partner that is the entirety of your surplus in your first world economy. Moving away from the United States makes you a third world nation. And if anyone doesn't see that, show me an example of anyone as integrated into the United States, breaking away from the United States, having a success story. I don't see any. How's Cuba? How's Venezuela? Doesn't look good at all. Looks like complete destruction of those nations, complete poverty, and completely no one coming to their aid. I don't see anyone coming to their aid to provide them any kind of trading partnership that can get them out of the disaster they're in. And Canada says, oh, but we're different. Everyone's going to come for us. Well, who? Well, how come those others didn't come for these others? Why didn't they? But they're all socialist, right? That's the way to save your country, right? That works so great worldwide every time, right? It's not like the USSR went bankrupt. Oh, yeah, it did. Oh, what am I talking about? Folks, it's about due diligence. It's not about being sheeple, which I know most are. I know absolutely all conservatives suffer the same derangement syndrome as all the liberals. I know this for a fact. I left the Conservative Party of Canada a long time ago because I realized that. I left finally in 2019 with UCP. I was Wild Rose before that. They all know it. Some of the top UCP folks today, still good friends of mine. You won't see them comment ever anymore. They're still there, still follow me. They're still friends. But they know, as they knew in 2019, I waved goodbye. I was offered a pretty good position in with UCP. Could have had my own little corner spot in Alberta, very close to home every night. Would have made a lot of money, like a lot of my friends still are, in my equivalent education. But you know what? It's about choosing what's right for my children, not what is lucrative for me today. It's about my children. It's about the truth. It's about my love for all Canadians and all First Peoples. It's about being a human being. It's about doing the right thing. And in this world, at least in this country, Canada, doing the right thing sees you suffer the most. Because this system isn't designed for the right thing. It isn't designed for humanity, let alone love for humanity. If you're one of those folks, you're kicking cans down the river. In USA history, so important to all Americans and absolutely so important to Donald J. Trump, one of the greatest presidents that I've seen in my lifetime, for sure, if not the greatest. Just amazing for me to live through it and see it and watch it unfold. I welcome all of it. I love what he's doing. I'm being honest here. I love what he's going to make Canada do. I don't love that Canada might make some bad choices. I don't love the prospect of Canada taking the dark road. But folks, we have to stay the course. It doesn't mean being a sheep on, oh, the world's falling every time. I see that with Canadians. They give up as fast as humanly possible. It's the sheep mentality. I gotta go back to the crown every time. And I know that. And I see everybody out of fear, panic. But, and then you'll see everybody rush back and the following builds back up. It does get distasteful. Honestly, as a Canadian, stuck in Canada, stuck with that, it does get really sickening and distasteful the longer I stick with it, because you watch people and then they come suckhole and groveling back, and you're like, that's why the word suckhole is really a Canadian slang term, because Americans aren't suckholes. I was asked by that media company, how come you don't have a big American flag and you don't have a nice, or hats and I'm wearing big hoodies or shirts and all that? I said, because I'm not American. I'm not a fool. I wish to be American. I know America like the back of my hand. I know everything about America better than most Americans do. That's from deep study. It's not for acting like I'm some kind of better or whatever. That's from study. That's from excessive hard work and study over a decade's worth, non-stop, like nobody else. And I've yet to be in a room other than academia where I really fit in. And it shows where I should have been in life, but that's neither here nor there. The reality is, I know I'm a Canadian. There's no point in wearing all these things and pretending something that isn't true. And if you don't understand what I mean, I articulated that very well in this recording with media, and I really nailed it. That interviewer is really good, and they drew the best out of me. And folks, when you understand that, and you understand Donald J. Trump and America First and what he's doing in this link of this title and the post I made just before that, there's all of the White House in its entirety, all of what Donald J. Trump is going to do to Canada, is doing to Canada, and there's no stopping it. Ontario is gone. Carney, Trump, oh yeah, work it out. Work out what? Otto's gone. That's not a negotiation. Otto's gone for Canada. Pharmaceutical Quebec is gone. Everything they have with the United States is already gone. So much in energy and resources to the United States is gone. Yes, massive portions of British Columbia. Yes, massive economic proportions of Alberta into southern Saskatchewan and Manitoba are gone. You just don't know it yet. It's all written clearly there, published by the White House. I put it in the link, the title, and then even the publication right before this video. It's over. And anyone denying that, anyone confused, because sheep will get confused, I get that, and I'm sorry to say it like that. This is all conservatives, all liberals, the hardcores. They are all sheeple. They are all sheeple, stuck in a mentality, a drive for something that's not going to work out either direction. It's just a matter of how fast and how smooth we become the 51st state. Will we transition and provide that $7 trillion savings to America, strengthening ourselves, not having the massive bankruptcy and debt load that could be a longer run under something like the Conservatives? Sure. Liberals will fight it, but the people are going to turn on all of them. Doug Ford, Mark Carney, or Pierre Poilievre. It's just Pierre Poilievre is a liar. He lies more about telling everything you want to hear instead of being the radical lunatic he really is, like Mark Carney. Mark Carney is a radical lunatic, and Donald Trump knows that. I can deal with an honest radical lunatic. Donald Trump is like, yeah, no problem. This will make the transition faster. The more fight, the faster. Now, Pierre Poilievre will lie to all of you, confuse you, try to do all these different things. That's only going to bankrupt us anyway, but it's over a longer period, and it doesn't give USA what they want, meaning that the equation of 51st state cherished won't be realized. It'll be, oh, you ruined healthcare, you ruined all these other programs USA actually wanted. It's what they coveted. That's what Trump wants, and he's not alone. I've already shared this. It's on the left side too. That is what they want. They don't want resources. Canadians are colonized and have become the colonials themselves through their federal and provincial crowns. You allow that abuser to continue, but those people are nuts in the head too, just like the British were, all about extraction, resources, subjugation, creating savage class peoples. Well, our own government does that to us. They've put the crown on their own heads. And in their delusional mind, that's all they think. Get more money, steal more money, resources, resources, resources. That's not how USA is. USA is about the human condition, the human opportunity, spirit, drive. Human beings are the assets and the quality of the person. Make it possible for human beings to reach their maximum potential. They'll create the wealth out of their skills, their knowledge, their opportunities that they generate. And that's the biggest difference. And why I don't wave American flags? Because I'm not American. I'm not in an American system. My taxes don't go to America. Now, I want all that, like all of you, but I know where I am right now, and I know where Donald J. Trump is right now. I know America better than America knows itself, just like Trump knows Canada better than Canada knows itself. And he's drawn his lines in the sand. That's published, again, in this link. Folks, if you haven't read all of it, you should, because you're already done. There's no conservative or liberal to save you. One way is rampant because it's a radical lunatic who's going to fight America tooth and nail. The other one's going to play half-ass capitulation, drag it out for many years, debt load all of you, and completely bankrupt us and our system. That's the truth. There's an easier way, and then there's the hard way. They're both not good. The best way right now is someone to come forward and create a majority in all this economic destruction we face, starting in less than a week's time. If someone would present that like we're trying to do, and I keep it real, people are mad, I don't allow posts, I don't this. We're a political party. We have people, thousands of people who signed Elections Canada forms. Just so everybody knows, and I didn't give anyone's personal information, the screenshots of them, because I have to database everyone's little window on my phone. So there's no way, even a film crew, and they were filming, and I've said, no, you can't film any of this. That wouldn't blow any of you up. But in small window form, I scroll and I show them, and I keep scrolling, and it's about 30 sheets at a time on my phone of all of you who filled out all that paper, just ripping it through. Showed them the stacks, and I even have another double stack at home in Alberta, which I'll be reclaiming probably at the end of April when I get back. And we have thousands of members, there's no doubt about that. And I showed them that, and they were just wow, and quickly too. And the girls are busy, the volunteers, we need more. That's going to take many months to process it all and get all the forms done up. It's going to take a lot, and that's okay. That's time. But the narrative of 51st state has to be put forward. We've lost that now. Trump magically shifts gears. Just like I told you, you 51st staters wouldn't get it together, that's okay. He's not mad at you. But realize now he's moving on to Carney. This is the second best opportunity we'll still get our health care from Canada. Everybody, Trump ended federal power over education. It used to be a whole federal nation. It isn't anymore. It's dissolved. Back to the states, just like Roe versus Wade. It is a state power. But he hasn't done health care yet. Because the best and most magical supersized Doge in anything USA could have is called Canada the 51st state, with that judicial amendment procedure worth $7 trillion a year to the United States. Oh, you better believe you're Canada, the cherished 51st state. I don't know about a lot of folks. I don't know. But in all of my interactions inside the United States, all the most amazing things I've done, all I've ever known about the United States compared to Canada is America relishes intellectual property, prowess, creativity, all of it. And they just love it. And I'm very welcome there. I bet you if you surveyed a ton of Canadian American business people from Canada, they're going to tell you the same thing. And I've heard from some French folks who've got up speaking on Twitter Spaces, and I do business in USA. I love USA. I'd move it all there. I love doing business with the USA because they love that. That is the colonial difference of Canadians versus Americans. Just like what I went through today, yesterday on my poster. Me and Rob Tavoni went to the United States, land, quickly run over to the first FedEx we could find, get in there, easy. I get my big poster, way bigger than what I made today, but still good. But just the teeth pulling in Canada at Staples was a joke. Couldn't even honor their agreement. Way more time, twice the money, and a quarter of the service, not even able to complete the tasks I paid for. 3/4 of the job not done. She hit print. That's as far as she got with me in an hour. After charging me that this is an hour service, You'll get a laminate, a backboard, all this, right? Running me up to about $80. And of course, I only got the $17 job at the end. That's all they were, and I had no more time. So I took it, I made my own. And it's just shameful that that is what Canada is. USA, business, fast, effective. People are friendly. They leave you. Hey, can I get the door for you? Your hands are full. What do you think Staples was? F off. Screw you. Oh, well, you have to get a refund, you know? And it's like, you screwed me over on our deal. I have no time to do all this. And then it's kicked me in the ass on the way out the door. That's what Canada is. And it's why Canada's finished. Just on that alone is an example that's throughout the entirety of Canada. We are finished. We are that USSR now. And if you don't know it, I don't know what to tell you. If you don't see that you aren't even in the realm of normalcy, you've heard Donald J. Trump on pulpits. Washington needs to be cleaned up. This is D.C. This has to be respectful. This has to be done and all that. Well, all the way from Virginia, all the way through to D.C., that's Arlington, right? Arlington, Virginia. Beautiful city, clean, wonderful. I smoke, everybody. Bad habit, something I do want to work on as I'm bringing my weight down. There's a point I'm going to try to transition into that too. But you know what? From Arlington, a beautiful, clean city, unlike anything I've ever seen in Canada, to the immaculate D.C., where I'm like, you know what? If Donald J. Trump thinks this is filthy, then he would absolutely find Toronto, Calgary, Edmonton, for examples, to be utter and absolute shitholes. Really, utter and absolute shitholes. And folks, before you say, oh, no, ask Rob Tavoni. I mean, we both smoke. I mean, maybe I should ask Rob. But we were alone there, in thousands and thousands of people, no matter where we went, in Arlington, even at our hotel, all the way through to Washington. Everywhere we went, we were like lepers in that respect. We were even like, what do we do with their butts? Knock the cherry off. Rob's like, put it in your pocket, like, you know, because it's, people look at you, right? Like, oh, gross, you know? It's like, wow, this is universal. Everywhere we went, that's 2 major cities, 2 major populations, and it was like, wow, it's beautiful everywhere, clean, well kept. Everyone has pride in their homes, their neighborhoods. There's no potholes everywhere, roads run. None of that. None of that. Which is absolutely everything around me I see today. That is the pride of your country versus the loathe of your country. Just like I explained to you about going to the Staples version FedEx in the States, which is lovely and friendly like all businesses we found there, versus and no good service, and you don't even often get the product you want. You're left holding garbage in your hands. That's Canada, systemic throughout, with no pride, no quality, no sense of purpose or culture. They talk about diversity. I don't see any diversity. I see a dump, a third world. I hate to say it. If Canadians can't come to terms with this, I know a lot have never ventured out of Canada. You wouldn't know any better, right? It's like the person who's a pig, doesn't do their dishes, lives in filth their whole life. They think that's normal and every home's like that. And it's like, no. No. Most homes are well maintained and people do their dishes. I do my dishes, house clean, vacuum, floors washed, bathroom immaculate. Other people got crap all over their toilet bowls, garbage piling up, dishes to the ceiling. That's abnormal. And that's what Canada's become, where it's being normalized. And we think that our country's normal. This is a great country, and oh yeah, sure, shots of a lake or a mountain, right? But don't shoot at your feet where there's garbage all over the shoreline, right? Like I was walking out, even in Port Darlington, which is universal all over Ontario and the Great Lakes. Garbage, junk everywhere, stinks, pew in the season, right? Gross. I'm being honest here. People say, no, it's not true, not true. You're lying, right? It's true. Cities don't maintain sidewalks, berms, all that. It gets pretty ugly. Doesn't matter what city you pick. I know. You all know too when you really search yourself and just the self-worth we have for ourselves in this deterioration of a nation that shouldn't even be a nation. Donald Trump's right. It's not a country. It doesn't function like a country. It's a colonial after blurb. And it's time to face the facts that 51st state would be a privilege and be the best path forward. And they're laying that out. Was 51st state, we didn't make it. We didn't get on the ballot. We didn't move the mountain. That's okay. You try. And we're not going to quit. We're going to keep going with that because you need to have that at the ready, especially as Canada starts getting destroyed systematically. And that starts in a week. And you will see membership grows. And you know what? Right now we're approaching 7,200 members. Record growth in a week. I expect in all these layoffs, all of this massive destruction of so many industries across Canada, starting in a week to the first 30 days, and then the 3 months after that, the 6 months after that, I bet you we are at 70, 80,000 members. And all of a sudden now, we're a force to reckon with against conservatives and liberals. And they know this. They know this. And then what's going to be in 2 years? Where are we going to be at? Equatable or maybe even bigger? All we have to do is stay the course, keep the messaging simple, keep it the same. That's why I reject all the posts. No more bitching about your conservatives. No more bitching about your liberals. It's okay to hit things that relate to 51st state, but we're not a media organization. We're a political party. You don't see conservatives or liberals running people's posts like that, do you? You don't. You stay on their messaging. Ours is very simple. Canada, the 51st state. Now, if you want to go post and bitch and bellyache or promote the other parties or run your programs that you like in your sound rooms, go do that somewhere else. We're a political party. People ask me, why are these people out to comment on your Facebook? Well, I have a personal public Facebook that I say and do whatever I want. Then we have our political party page where we have a strict messaging and we have a system of registering people with Elections Canada. So I've even made mistakes, things I took for granted. That's not going to happen anymore. I'm going to stay in my lanes, in the system, know it, live it. There are people on there who have not filled out any memberships, and that's great if you want to be a donator, but you won't get the same privileges or access to our page. We're definitely not going to allow people to steal personal information to take back with them to conservatives or liberals, but it's mostly conservatives. And we know, I know, I'm 10 steps ahead of you, and you will be reported to those who will hold you to account. You may not think that's a big deal today, but I promise you, in the days, months, years ahead, it will be paramount to those people. And they'll be going, why did I do that? Because you were an idiot and you want to be and play criminal with your criminal crown parties. Well, that was great then. You got away with it because they supported you. But in the end, like all crown, there's only enough seats on the Titanic, and you're the one who gets thrown off. And you think I'm going to be there to bail you out after you tried to hurt us or hurt our people in our party? No, I'll do the old Donald Trump, push you off the life raft, step on your fingers. You're going back in the water because that's where you deserve to be. Sorry. But when somebody put their hand out for you and then you punched them in the face, or worse, you grabbed the hand and then you jabbed a dagger in their back. No, I don't think so. You're off the boat. You're a threat to everybody. You're the worst kind of threat. And it's kind of funny because it's Malcolm X's house Negro, that kind of threat. The person who just loves the master so much, they treat their own people the worst. That's disgusting. Anyhow, folks, that's my video. There's a lot in here and a lot of work for a lot of you to do. But I'm telling you, the line's in the sand. It's game over. Sure, Trump wants Carney. That's the lesser evils on the American side. The big evil for Canadians, but on the Trump side of it, who wants the 51st state, he's looking at it. Carney will destroy that country the fastest, quickest. He's a straight shooter. He's a radical lunatic. He'll bankrupt that country just like he did with the Bank of England and everything he did there. This is perfect. I'll have that state in a few short years, probably before I'm out of office. Pierre Poilievre, he could drag it out maybe 4 or 5 years. I won't be in office. Then the next administration, then it's going to be the Paine way. He'll never live to see it. And Donald Trump wants to live to see it. He wants to know that he's got 51st state. He's got that universal health care replacement. He's got his statue, his mark to live on forever, and he can rest easy in the afterlife. That's reality. When people get to an age, it's legacy. It's not about money anymore. It's about legacy. Believe it. God bless everybody. That's my video. Share, share, share. For me, it's some work projects I'm going to do at home here and pile of paperwork. Get back to that. That's what I'm doing. Unless there's any other breaking news, we'll see. But I'm just going to process as much as I can before things really hit the fan. I know. Share, share, share. Get it out there.